variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration. See, the both conductivity and molar conductivity change with the concentration of the electrolyte. Okay, the conductivity always decrease with decrease in concentration, both of a weak and strong electrolytes. This can be explained with the fact of the number of ions per unit volume that carry the current in a solution decrease on dilution. So the conductivity of solution at any given concentration is the conductance of 1 unit volume of solution kept between two platinum electrodes with the unit area of cross section and at the distance of unit length. So already we know that this is clear from that equation. G is equal to kappa A by L. That is equal to what? Kappa. Here both A and L are unity, so that's why we'll take like this. So kappa, that is the units usually meter or centimeter. So the molar conductivity of a solution at given concentration is the conductance of the volume, usually volume is V, volume of the solution containing 1 mole of the electrolyte kept between two electrodes with the area of cross section and the distance of unit length, so that the molar conductivity is equal to kappa A by L is equal to kappa. So since L is equal to 1 and area of cross section, that is volume, that is volume containing 1 mole of electrolyte, so that lambda m is equal to what? Kappa V. Okay, L is equal to 1, A is equal to 1, that's why like this. So the molar conductivity increase with decrease in concentration. This is reason is the total volume, that is V. The total volume of the solution containing 1 mole of electrolyte also increases. So it has been found that the decrease on kappa, that is the kappa value on dilution of the solution, is more than compensated by increase in the volume. So physically it means that at a given concentration, that is the molar conductivity can be defined in the conductance of the electrolyte solution kept between the electrodes of the conductivity cell at unit distance, but having area of cross section large enough to accommodate sufficient volume of the solution that contains 1 mole of the electrolyte. So when concentration approaches 0, the molar conductivity usually called limiting molar conductivity, that is we can write like this. This symbol indicates this is molar conductivity and this is the limiting molar conductivity. Okay. So usually the variation we can there is variation in molar concentration with the different for the strong and weak electrolyte, we can write like this. See, this is acetic acid, so weak, and KCl is strong, the strong electrolyte, and weak electrolyte. This unit like this, molar conductivity divided by this, Siemens centimeter square mole inverse, the range like this, 400, 200, 0, then the KCl for this 0.2 and 0.4 like this. This is the concentration, or you can write it, that is root C divided by mole per liter, or you can write it root of mole per liter. This is the molar conductivity versus root C for the acetic acid. This is the weak electrolyte, and the potassium chloride is a strong electrolyte in the aqueous solution. Okay, this first we will see the strong electrolyte. The strong electrolytes, the molar conductivity increases slowly with dilution. This can be explained by the molar conductivity is equal to limiting molar conductivity minus A root C, or you can write it C power half, whatever it is. So it can be seen that this diagram, the flat, this is the molar conductivity is against to the root C. Okay, that is applying the straight line. This is the straight line with intercept equal to the molar, that is the limiting molar conductivity, and slopes equal to the minus A. So this value of constant A for a given solvent and temperature depends on the types of electrolyte, that is the charge on the cation and the anion produced on the dissociation of electrolyte in the solution. For example, that is NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus, CaCl2, calcium chloride, magnesium sulfate, like this. So usually this dissociate into 1:1 because of Na plus and Cl minus. This 2:1 like this. Then magnesium sulfate 2:2 like this. 2, that is the electrolyte usually dissociates like this. So all the electrolytes are particular type have the same value for A, that is area of their cross section. Then the Kohlrausch law. Kohlrausch examined the limiting molar conductivity lambda naught m, that is limiting molar conductivity values for the number of strong electrolytes, and observed certain regularities. He noted that the difference in the limiting molar conductivity of the electrolytes, that is sodium halides, potassium halides, like this, for any halides, the nearly constant. That is for example at 298 Kelvin. For example, limiting molar conductivity for KCl is equal to, that is minus limiting molar conductivity of NaCl is equal to limiting molar conductivity of KBr minus limiting molar conductivity of NaBr. Okay, here this is the limiting molar conductivity, that is this equal to limiting molar conductivity of Ki, potassium iodide, minus limiting molar conductivity of sodium iodide. This approximately equal to 23.4 Siemens centimeter square mole inverse. Similarly, it also found that is limiting molar conductivity of sodium bromide minus limiting molar conductivity of sodium chloride is equal to limiting molar conductivity of KBr, potassium bromide, and limiting molar conductivity of KCl. So this approximately 1.8 Siemens centimeter square mole inverse. Okay. See, on the basis of the observation, this is the Kohlrausch law of independent migrations of ions. So that the law is the limiting molar conductivity of any electrolyte can be represented, that is the sum of the individual contributions of cations and anions of the electrolyte. So here, if NaCl is see Na plus and Cl minus, that is the individual contributions of cations and the anions. So that they are limiting molar conductivity of the sodium and the chlorine ions are given here. So the limiting molar conductivity of the sodium chloride, usually we can write it like this: limiting molar conductivity of sodium chloride is equal to lambda naught Na. This is this small lambda. This indicates this is this is capital lambda. This is small lambda. This means this is the individual ion. So here individual ions for cation is sodium Na plus and Cl minus. This is the sum of the individual contributions of cations and the anions of the electrolyte. Okay. So usually in general the electrolyte on dissociation gives that is V plus that is V plus cations and the V minus anions. So the limiting molar conductivity usually we can write it like this: limiting molar conductivity V plus lambda plus V minus lambda naught minus. Okay, so here this lambda naught plus and lambda naught minus are limiting molar conductivity of the cation and the anion. Okay, so some values are given, that is limiting molar conductivity. Some values are given in that textbook, that is table number 3.4. The hydrogen ion, that limiting molar conductivity value is, look at this, the hydrogen ion, the concentration of hydrogen ion is 349.6. The unit is like this. This is the lambda naught divided by Siemens centimeter square per mole. Then sodium ion 50.1, potassium ion 73.5, calcium 2 plus ion, that is 119.0, hydroxide ion 199.1, chloride ion 76.3, bromide ion is 78.1, and acetate ion is 40.9. Next we will see the weak electrolytes. So the weak electrolyte, the acetic acid, have lower degree of dissociation at the higher concentration, and hence for usually change in the molar concentration, that is the molar concentration with dilution, is due to the increase in the degree of dissociation, and consequently the number of ions in total volume of solution that contains 1 mole of electrolyte. Okay, see that molar conductivity increases steeply. Already we seen that graph for acetic acid increases steeply like this, CH3COH, and we seen that KCl. Okay, here this increases steeply. Okay, see here that especially here 1 mole of the electrolyte, that is that on dilution, then especially near the lower concentration, that's why the limiting molar conductivity cannot be obtained by the extrapolation of the molar conductivity to zero concentration, that an infinite dilution, that is concentration approach zero. Okay, the electrolyte dissociates completely, that means alpha is equal to 1. So this is the dissociation. That, but at such low concentration the conductivity of the solution is so low that it cannot be measured accurately. So therefore that lambda, limiting molar conductivity for weak electrolytes, is obtained by using the Kohlraasch law of the independence migration of ions. Okay, then at any concentration C, that is C, if alpha, that is the alpha is degree of dissociation, this C is a concentration, so that can be approximately to the ratio of the molar conductivity at the concentration to the limiting molar conductivity. So usually we can write it alpha, that is lambda m, this is degree of dissociation divided by is equal to molar conductivity divided by limiting molar conductivity. But we know that for weak electrolyte for acetic acid, already we were studied in equilibrium that Ka, just remember that formula, Ka is equal to C alpha square divided by 1 minus alpha. Now substitute the alpha value in this equation, you will get it, that is C lambda square m, that is molar conductivity divided by the limiting molar conductivity of 1 minus molar conductivity divided by the limiting molar conductivity. So the result, that is C lambda square m divided by limiting molar conductivity, limiting molar conductivity minus molar conductivity. Then the applications of Kohlraasch law is the using Kohlraasch law, the independence of migration of ion, possible to calculate that limiting molar conductivity of any electrolyte from the individual ions, that is small lambda naught. That is the moreover for weak electrolyte like acetic acid, it's possible to determine the value of its dissociation constant once we know the limiting molar conductivity and the molar conductivity given concentration C. Okay, next class we will discuss the batteries.